In my last video, you saw me build this really large electrolyzer system down here. Now in today's video, we're going to try to keep that cool with an automated cooling loop. So this is based on another video I did a little while ago. And essentially what we're going to use is this ice maker up here in order to put out ice and cool a body of water. And then we can recirculate that water through this loop that I have right down here in order to cool the air that's coming out of the electrolyzer, or cool the oxygen that's flowing out of there. That can also be used at a later stage when I get into running plastic, which there's a good chance I'll be running plastic right down here. However, that could pretty much just be inside of the cold biome. Another thing that it might be used for is running the natural gas generator, because if you run the natural gas generator at a precise temperature, that's the temperature that you will get out of that it will output the water that comes out of that natural gas generator, although it's not very much. Another thing I need to do is make sure that I'm pumping this oxygen rather than just into this spot. Actually push it across the base and get it to where it's needed. I think a great location for the ice machine is going to be right here. We already got stuff planned out for this over here on the left, so I can't really build through that, and this is kind of just unused space. Okay, so this is the first room I want to make. So what I have here is a couple of ice makers, and these will output ice essentially. And then I will run the actual ice to another location that'll actually cool a loop. So depending on where the loop needs to be, the dupes will pick it up and move it there. If it melts, then it'll melt down into this pool down here. So what I'll actually do is put a little bit of a wall right here. And then on top of that, I'm going to use a bottle emptier. And since we already have a bunch of water right down here, I can just go ahead and move that water from one location to the next. Bubbles, that's a hot job! Holy moly, how hot is that stuff? Woo! Bubbles, bubbles. There you go, there you go. Does anybody want to help Super Meep out? Yeah, nobody seems to want to build this mesh tile. Ah yeah, there you go. Now you're free. Alright dupes, get in there, sweep it up. I'm also going to do a little bit of automation here, and since this can potentially be a throughway for the dupes rather than them going up through this door, I'm going to put in a couple of buffer gates here just to filter out any false positives of them walking across the wayplates. Super Meep, you got stuck again, buddy. Anybody want to help him out again? Anybody? First thing you did in the game is get stuck. Now you're getting stuck all the time, buddy. Okay, so once I have this built up over here, the next thing I'm going to build is this right down here. So what this is this is the location where we're going to drop off the ice in the automatic dispenser here. Now that could actually be more than just what comes out of the ice maker. Matter of fact, there's a good chance I might end up with a ton of that from the ice biome up here, depending on if I select snow or something like that, or polluted ice, depending on what I pick. Matter of fact, I think if I just pick ice, it'll probably end up down there. The point is, though, ice can be dropped off in this automatic dispenser, and then down here, I can detect how much ice is there so that I disable any more ice to drop in from this dispenser. So once I've done that, I'll just pipe liquid, and this will just be water, essentially. I'll pipe water through here and then back. Now, for this application, if we really wanted to cool things down and have them go below zero, polluted water would be ideal because it has a lower freezing temperature, you know, in this game. you have to always keep everything in context with oxygen not included. A lot of the science and everything that we learn in this game are very video game specific. It's inspired by real physics, but not necessarily accurate in many situations. So just keep that in mind. Perpetual motion machines are still not a thing. Nobody's been able to figure that one out, for good reason. However, perpetual motion machines in this game, well, they're pretty much everywhere, aren't they? Here's one. Here's one. Is this one? This might be one. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Looks like I'm out of algae. How about that? Whoa! Okay. I wasn't keeping an eye on that. Well, I have several deposits of a whole bunch of algae, so that won't be a big deal. I would say that's one of the #1 things that can catch out a new player of this game, especially once you get up in the higher cycles. If you were relying on algae this entire time as your main source of oxygen, meaning that you were pretty much just using the diffuser down here, you can quickly find yourself out of oxygen and may not know how to get more oxygen in your base fast enough to save your duplicates from suffocating. Now, one good thing is that even though your dupes do suffocate, they don't necessarily need to breathe all the time. When they're holding their breath, they're actually not consuming oxygen. So, as they get close to the limit, they consume less and less oxygen. They don't necessarily become more loopy because they're always loopy, but it would be kind of interesting if they started doing random things when they became oxygen deprived. And also keep in mind that I've been digging up a lot of these biomes. Like I dug up this entire biome right there, which is not needed. You don't need to do that. Most of what I'm digging here is just because I can. You know, and because it's really fun to dig with super dupes because they just go so fast. Look at that. Okay, so I completed this over here. So that's good. And what I'm going to do is just cap this up right there. And once those tiles are filled in, then I will enable this to be have water emptied into here. So that way I'll just kind of bring the water from here straight up to there. Okay, so now that my dupes are going through this area right there, that's a good spot to bring in some of the oxygen that I'm able to produce down here. Now there's absolutely no way that I can take everything that this thing will be able to throw at me over here in the base. I mean, I have no use for that much oxygen. So what I'm going to try to do here is use the pumps on the outside first, and then as I ramp up production, I'll use more and more in the middle. That is a lot of igneous rock. All right, there we go. Here's another pipe. Yep. All right, so I'm pretty much ran out of igneous rock. I'm going to have to dig up some more. How about that? But I don't. So one of the materials I don't really have a use for is obsidian. So I'm just going to go ahead and use some obsidian. It's not quite as insulated, but at this point it doesn't need to be insulated. Matter of fact, I don't think a lot of this needs to be insulated. Just up to here. And then everything will go just normal. Okay, so areas where I want to make sure that gas is going to flow out of are going to be the areas where they're sleeping and eating. So where the dupes spend a lot of time. So I think a decent strategy here would be to output oxygen right here, right along that main ladder. And that's also next to a lot of airflow tiles. So then rather than just run over this, because then all the oxygen would flow out of that, I'm going to tee it. That way 50-50 will flow up from there. And then just because it's symmetrical, I'll have the rest of it exit right there. Okay, so there's some more areas where I'm going to output oxygen. So right there, there, and there. And then we obviously have a little bit of oxygen being output by these terrariums down here. Okay, so one of the other things I wanted to do here was to make sure that I didn't overfill this pipe. In the case that this thing is running and producing far too much oxygen and that these vents become overpressured and the gas begins to back up inside the pipe, I want to be able to detect that and not run the pumps right here and here. Because if I do, I could potentially push the rest of that oxygen out up into the hydrogen generators. So I need kind of an overflow protection. So to handle that, I'm just going to shift around some ladders and stuff, and then I'll use this arrangement right here, which is going to be a gas bridge and then another gas bridge, and I'll use a sensor on this pipe right there. And if I detect oxygen there, then I know that it's been backed up. Okay, so now that stuff's hasn't been built yet. Come on, dupes! Oh, I guess they're off just building a bunch of pipes, aren't they? Yeah. They love to build pipes. Ooh! 500 kilograms of plastic! Although, Weezeworts are limited, whereas I can always make more plastic. I'm gonna go with the plastic, because I have plenty of Weezeworts around, really. And because we're not being frugal at all, we're going to use that to upgrade our beds to comfy beds. Be wasteful, dupes. Enjoy your comfort. Oh, and disable that. I don't need that much oxygen right now. We're good. Bloop. Okay, maybe not. Look at all of this. Yes, I love this plumbing. It's brilliant. I am going to have to do something with this water over here. There's too much of it. I feel like I've said this a bunch of times, but okay, we can now auto bottle water. Okay, it'll go right there. So this shovel here doesn't really have anywhere to go or anything to eat. Diet is dirt, regolith, iron ore. I really don't want you to eat my, I think there's only one solution. Turn it into food. Bam! Problem solved. All right, good for me. I can go ahead and plug this right into the outlet of that, and that'll work. Now for this sort of gas pipe magic thing that I was talking about. Deconstruct the gas pipes right here. Okay, then I'm going to use a gas bridge. Boom, boom, just like that. And then a gas pipe element sensor right there. Remember, I saw this arrangement on the forums. It's been super handy ever since I was able to discover that. But yeah, it just... And it works. So the way it works is that the gas flows in through the first white input and flows out the green right there. So if it can't flow out into this pipe because it's completely full, the oxygen ends up in this tile right there because it skips over. And then at that point you detect it and you can use that as an overflow detection. So super handy. Oops, I wanted that to be to that automation and that one to go there. So with one slight exception, I want this to be a not. So when this does, this will be good, right? This will be true when we're not detecting oxygen. So the pipe is clear, therefore the signal is good to go. If this is above 600 grams, then we can run that pump, which is actually both pumps at the same time. I'm not worried about the back one backing up, so I don't really have to worry about overflow on that one. So now oxygen is flowing out and it's going to flow into the base, and that means I can disable this guy because we don't need it anymore. Click. So here comes all of that oxygen that we worked real hard to make last episode. Interestingly enough, since I'm running it through these same tiles right here, that's part of the cooling loop, it'll end up becoming about the same temperature as what we're running it through there. Multiple cooling loops affecting the same gas. All right, so yeah, it's entering at 28 degrees. And there we have it, lots of oxygen, lots of fluorescence, beautiful. And because this is running, you can see that the hydrogen is flowing up into the generator here, so that is producing extra power. And because I have these 3 batteries right here, I only output power to the rest of the grid every once in a while. Now the one thing I don't have on the outside of this power transformer right now is a battery, which I should have. I should really dump a decent amount of charge over there. So one of the things I found in the last episode here is that I think a couple of temperature shift plates down here will definitely help. Now I don't have enough diamond to really use all diamond. By the way, thanks to everybody that's been subscribing recently. I hope you guys are really enjoying the channel here. This has been a fun series thus far. Really been able to put all the things that we've talked about over the last couple of years and start to put them to use in this one big playthrough. So that's been pretty cool. I think what I'll do is I'm just gonna go down here and I'm gonna dig up more diamond for that. All right, there we go. We'll dig over there. We'll get enough diamond and I'll move that diamond up here to where it needs to be. Kaya, do you no longer have a bed? Oh gosh, you have a sore back, soggy feet, grimy slime lung, low oxygen, and you're still not stressed? What? Well, enjoy your new comfy bed then. Dupes, you dropped a bottle of water right down here. What's up with that? All right, temporary solution. I will put a battery right here just so that we can use those ice makers. Boom, there we go. Now we have some oxygen. Okay, so this is the overflow from the toilet right here. So what I could do is take the overflow from the toilet and route it all the way over here. So I think I'd run it right there, like that, and then down and over. You know, I really can't see any reason why I shouldn't do that. I sometimes feel like it's my mission to fill every tile with a piece of pipe. Some new shovels. Welcome to the base. Get ready to be turned into food. All right, we made that giant pipe. There it is, it's right over there. So now if I have some extra polluted water, which I should see that it'll flow up and through here. Yep, there it goes. It's a little confused, for good reason. Actually, I don't know why it's confused. That's has a direction to me. Okay, so now that liquid is flowing out and away, and it'll eventually end up being turned into oxygen. What I'm going to do here is let the oxygen let the water flow out of here and up into this pipe, and I'll just get rid of the rest of this right here. So then all of this will then find its way through that pipe network all the way back over here to be turned into oxygen. Do I have ceramic? Yes, I do. Perfect. So there we go. That'll complete the little loop for the cooling, for the ice. Nice. The other bit of automation I want to put down there is a thermal sensor. And then what I do is I just put a not signal. So if either of these, you know, for not below the temperature or we're not, you know, above a certain weight, then this thing is enabled. So all I have to do is string that together, because any true on either of these sensors will make the automation wire true. Okay, so now we can see these ice makers. They're up and running. So I have some ice here, but I'm going to disable them so I don't build up just too much ice in that one spot. Okay, as for all the ice water I'll have that potentially will fill up and overflow from here, I want that to return up here if possible. So the water comes out here, we pull it up, we put it into the ice maker, it gets cold, we take the ice, we put it right back down here, it melts as it heats up, and it gets pumped right back up here to get frozen. That's essentially how that cycle works. I build this nice and tall so that the dupes don't try to reach down here and pick up the ice, because they'll do that. Okay, so one thing I'm doing here in order to get a little bit more power down here for the ice makers is, rather than routing the power that I have coming from this hydrogen generator through this transformer here, I'm just going to disable this transformer for now, because this system, it's up and running and it does what it needs to all by itself. But the juice that I need to run to this stuff over here, well, it needs a little bit of help, because right now I'm only running one electrolyzer and 2 gas pumps, which doesn't really give me that much extra power at the end of the day. Definitely not enough to run these ice makers and a couple of pumps, which is needed to just move the water into this area to begin with. I noticed that I was getting some polluted water over here. So I think what I can do is use this right here, this bottle emptier, and do auto bottle, because it's meant to deliver polluted water. I have no idea how this liquid pump here got damaged, but it did, which is a mystery to me. But as we can see, more and more water is moved up here, so there we go. We can then take that and pipe it out somewhere else. And we can also see that the ice is now right here, but it has nowhere to go. So that disabled the ice makers from making even more ice at this point. This is false because we have ice on top of it, so it's a little bit too... And if we go below, let's say 5 degrees, then I also want this to turn off. So right now it's not going to do anything at this point. It's just going to sit there. I was trying to see if I could find the automated dispenser right here in the power usage, but I don't see it. Hey, dupes, you're dropping ice down here. That's not cool. Okay, so this liquid needs a direction. So get rid of one tile, put in a bridge. That'll give it a direction, so then it can start flowing around. So it came in at 47. It doesn't have a lot of contact down there, unfortunately. If I could put a temperature shift plate in there, that might help a little bit. And I can just reach that one. I can't go one tile below it. Once again, I'm out of iron ore. It's surprising to me just how much iron I'm using in this base. But then again, looking back at it, maybe I shouldn't be surprised. I do have a lot of things like fire poles and everything inside here. Although all that means is I need to get up there to space and start harvesting meteorites. Then I'll have an unlimited supply of iron. And that's somewhere up here. Oh, you know what? I did the analysis on this leaky oil fissure. Calculated average output. 215 grams a second. Not to mention the temperature that thing's at. Eruption period, 600 seconds of every 600. Does it never stop? All right, that's just the best fissure ever. Oh, the steam vent is up and running. Look at all of that steam. And the temperature's good too. So why aren't you running? Oh, because I don't have it. I have it disabled via automation. Where the hell me? So many things to do. Okay, so what's the temperature like down here? Okay, that's a fair bit better. We're down to 30 degrees Celsius, not bad. So the oxygen that's flowing out of here is at 32 degrees. Okay, that's not too bad. As compared to the top one, which doesn't get cooled, that's at 55. Biker puppy, Dude, it's set to 1%. That's clearly way more than 1%. What are you doing? Here's what I'm going to do. We will give this a little bit of automation. There you go. That'll go to standby once we get to, how about just simple 10%. And it becomes active if we ever run out of power. That way my dupes don't end up stuck over here on this manual generator. However, it is a good training center for dupes, so there's always a reason to run on the hamster wheel. All right, what ladder do I want? Do I want this one or do I want this one? All right, lucky me, that was just enough water to fill this up from that puddle right down there. I totally took my eyes off that. This thing could have been flooding this entire time and I would have no idea. But there we have it, done. All right, there we go. I just kind of filled in the rest of this loop, except for the polluted water. And then that will flow out just like this, boom. Okay, so I decided to take all of this gas stuff here to the next level and also to take the automation and finalize it. So what I've done over here is I've set up a whole bunch more overflow detectors. And then since I need an AND gate in here, the only place I could find that the AND gate would work is up top. This one worked because I was able to go over to the left, but the rest of these, they don't really work if I was trying to use an Atmos sensor for each one. So I'm just going to use one master Atmos sensor for all of them, and then use the AND gate tied into the overflow detection here to run all of the rest of the pumps. It's kind of a spaghetti mess, but you know what? It works. Or shall I say, it should work. I don't know if it'll work just yet, but the plan is that it'll work. And then we'll let all of this gas flow in. Man, look at all these pipes. This is perfect and amazing. I love it. Now, if I ever need to reroute one of these to go and run to a liquid oxygen system, well, I'll do that. But right now, yes, I like this. This is what I want. Look at this madness. It is so insane. All right, come on now. You can do it. Just a few more pipes, dupes, and we'll have this thing. All right, dupes, just a little bit more mopping, please. You're almost done. We'll sweep all of that up. There we go. Well, when the dupes need oxygen, they just run right inside of here. Look, Stinky's gonna go. That's a good place to go to get some oxygen. Has anybody? Are these pipes backed up? No. Why are you not running? Do you not understand what I'm trying to tell you? How about some oxygen? Oh, it's because I'm not using NOT gates. Oh, okay. My bad. Not. Bam! There we go. Hey, look at this! Look at this thing work! Did you see that? It melted and then the ice dropper dropped more in there. How much? 500 kilograms. Nice. Now, how long does it take for 500 kilograms to warm up? Probably longer than it would take than for 250 kilograms to warm up. So now this should be resupplied by some dupes up here. I think Biker Puppy's got it. Boom, there we have it. Nice to see that working. Now what's the temperature inside of here? 17 degrees Celsius. Beautiful, thank you. This is working. Why have we run out of power? That should definitely not happen. Have you not seen the hydrogen flow? Look at it, go! This is kind of mesmerizing. Look at this. Look at this oxygen. Wow, that's cool. All right. Print screen. Look at all of that oxygen. Okay, a little bit of hydrogen seemed to sneak through there, but... And what's the temperature? It's kind of a mixture because some of the pipes are, they're kind of running hotter oxygen, but most of them are running nice and cool. So this one right down here, that's at 20 degrees, 21. So not bad. Kind of a mix though. I think by keeping these pumps a little bit further away, they're definitely grabbing more oxygen. And we can see now this thing is turning on and off and on and off because it's working off the pressure here, so it's not necessarily staying on all the time. This is a different arrangement. I've never done one that's been so large with one chamber right there with all of these different electrolyzers. Normally I separate it to where there's one electrolyzer, a pump on top, a pump on bottom, or I do kind of this self-filtering unit where you do an electrolyzer and then you put a door on either side and then hydrogen kind of becomes a gas lock up here, and you put a pump right on the side. That's kind of the old school traditional way of filtering out the hydrogen from the electrolyzer, and then oxygen is down below. You just put a couple pumps down there. That method works really good. This method was a different attempt. And you know what? It looks like it's working, and it does look like it is maintaining a self-powering state, so that's good. I just hope it isn't wasting power. One thing I should do is I should put a little switch here. That way I can turn it off, and I can re-enable that one. You know what? I suppose that's not needed. Well, I'll leave it there. This thing isn't going to run because the battery doesn't drop down. Although I have to increase this to 50% because all of these pumps down here, wow, did they draw down way too fast. That's not good. I'm getting some oxygen up in there. Why am I getting oxygen? Is there just too much going on? It didn't happen. It's not happening while I'm looking at it. Oh, this one's backed up. Okay, so you should be detecting that I didn't connect this stuff to the right spots. So it's, right now I'm disabling the wrong pumps. The madness. Oh, okay. So this pipe here at the end flows out in the middle. As we can see, that one's full, as in I need to disable it. That's how the oxygen's flowing through, because the pipe's backed up. So what I need is this automation wire here. Needs to run, doesn't need to control those. It needs to jump over. So that flows out there. I'm boxed in. Oh no. All right, delete and try again. Delete it, dupes. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, what in the world am I doing? And these two are the same. So I'll connect those. Okay. You go here like that. Okay, I think I got this. And you flow up here. I think that's it. Yes. Ha! Aha! Okay, so oxygen is backed up here, right? So that's backed up. Therefore, I've disabled this row of pumps. All of that. No longer enabled. These are not backed up. Okay, this one's backed up. Right. So that disables this row of pumps down here because it's connected to this one, so that will no longer pump oxygen until it clears out. So you'll see that this will not flow until that tile makes it through. Come on, just keep waiting. Just keep waiting. A little bit more, and now it'll run. See? Haha! And then if you look at the automation, it's just kind of madness, but it's fun to watch. All right, well that was cool. And then if everything works right, hopefully I will not get any oxygen in on that pump right there. Wow, that battery drains fast. Oh, and then both the generators kick in. Okay, 3 of them kick in and the battery goes way back up. So I probably don't have enough battery storage up here for the crazy amount of stuff I have going on down below. So I might want to expand my battery capacity and maybe move this to the left and throw a couple more batteries up there. How's the oxygen doing? Oh, yes, we have plenty of oxygen. Boom. Problem solved. How's the temperature? You know what? It's awfully comfortable, isn't it? Nice. What's the temperature of the oxygen that's flowing through here? 41, 33, 27, 24, 37. It's kind of a mix, isn't it? The stuff that makes it down through these bottom pumps, well, it's nice and chill. And that kind of makes me think I should probably loop liquid up here, which does mean I'm going to cool the hydrogen, but you know what, I guess that's not the end of the world. So yeah, let's give it a try here. We'll just put a little bit of an extra bit of gold up there, and I'll get rid of that one piece right there. All right, so here's the modified loop. You can see that it's going to flow up through this area, then it goes back to insulated, and then I'll continue the loop right over there. Is it perfect? No, but you know what, it should work. And here's what I'll do. I'll connect it right over here. This way, if I get some polluted water, that polluted water should land on top of other polluted waters and max everything out. All right, so there's the modified loop. It's now running. Now we'll just enter more and more stuff into that pipe. This is kind of weird. I'm not sure why I decided to do that. We'll do that. We'll empty out the rest of this liquid pipe right there because, wow, that just made a mess. Mop that stuff up. So if we take a look at the temperature now, yes, we can see it's a fair bit cooler right there. Maybe that'll modify that, or maybe that'll help the temperature of the oxygen as it flows out. 35, 35, 30, 28. There is so much stuff on top of each other right here. I almost feel like I should put temperature shift plates and then tiles back here as well, just to kind of max out all the different layers all at once. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Automation, wire bridge, wire, radiant liquid pipe, insulated gas pipe, and oxygen. One tile. Okay, now the truth is that this system is only going to run as fast as we consume oxygen over here on the left, because everything's just going to become overpressured. Yeah, but you know what? That's just fine. All that means is we should really have some more duplicates. Or maybe we should get a place for these Pachus to go, because right now... Oh no! They're just hanging out here. Oh, don't jump off the cliff! Don't jump off the cliff! Oh no! Oh! Hey, they found some water! Good job, guys. Oh, that's not much water. Keep trying. Uh-oh. I think they're headed for that tile right there. So, there you have it. One very overcrowded tile. By the way, do you guys realize you're on top of a volcano? Yeah. We'll have to do something about these Pachus here, and that'll have to happen here in the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. If this looks like the channel for you, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. As always, stay awesome, guys. Peace. Brothgar out.